At the beginning of the story, we see an unconscious man plummeting rapidly from the sky. Suddenly, he regains consciousness. Realizing he is hurtling toward the ground, he frantically tries to deploy his parachute. It fails to open initially, but just as he nears the ground, the parachute deploys automatically. This slows his descent, though he still crashes through the trees before hitting the earth and losing consciousness. Fortunately, the impact of the trees saves his life. He wakes up a short while later, and we learn his name is Peter. Upon regaining consciousness, Peter finds himself in the midst of a dense forest, completely bewildered as to how he got there. Before he can make sense of the situation, another man lands safely nearby via parachute. This man is a Mexican gangster who immediately points his gun at Peter. Peter urges him to lower the weapon, assuring him that he poses no threat. Just as the gangster is about to lower the gun, another man plummets rapidly from above and is killed right before their eyes because, with great stealth, a man approaches the shooter from behind, holds him at gunpoint, and stops him from firing. Peter explains that they are not enemies but are also trapped there, just like him. Hearing this, the man, whose name is Nikolai, calms down and tells Peter, "I was in the war, but suddenly someone knocked me unconscious, and when I woke up, I was here. I thought you were the enemy, which is why I fired at you." Just as the three are talking, Peter notices a girl standing ahead, aiming a gun at them. Her name is Christine, and she is a German sharpshooter. Christine had overheard their conversation, so she realizes they pose no threat to her. The four of them then move forward into the forest together. Christine mentions that while she was falling from above, she saw other people landing by parachute as well. As they advance through the woods, we see that someone is tailing them, a Japanese soldier. He removes his boots and follows them with light steps, so they cannot hear the sound of his movements. The three ahead remain completely unaware that they are being pursued. A short distance later, they encounter two other people who are fighting. Upon seeing the group, the two stop fighting and join the team. Suddenly, they hear a man shouting in the distance. When they reach the spot, they find a man whose parachute has snagged in a tree, leaving him hanging upside down. Peter shoots the parachute cord, bringing the man down, and asks who he is. The man replies, "My name is Steve, and I am a doctor." No one knew where they were, nor did anyone know the way out of the forest. Consequently, they all set out together to find an escape route. A Japanese man also joined their team. A short distance ahead, they stumbled upon a spot littered with human skulls. The sight terrified them, making them realize just how dangerous the forest was. They knew they had to get out quickly by any means necessary, or else they risked losing their lives. As they moved forward, Nikolai spotted a strange plant. Drawn to it, he was on the verge of touching it when the doctor intervened, stopping him and explaining that it was highly poisonous. A single drop of the liquid secreted by the flower could paralyze a person. The doctor collected some of the fluid on a knife and kept it with him. They then resumed their journey. Suddenly, their African companion stepped on a trap and fell. Almost instantly, sharp wooden stakes began raining down on him from above. However, the African man manages to save himself just as a massive tree trunk swings toward the rest of the group. They quickly dodge the tree, but then sharp wooden stakes begin raining down on them from above. While trying to evade them, Christine runs fast and is on the verge of falling into a pit when she manages to grab onto a piece of wood overhead. She begins to slip slowly toward the pit, which is lined with numerous sharp stakes at the bottom. Just as she is about to fall in, Peter rushes over, grabs her, pulls her to safety. Confused about who could have set such a trap, Christine spots the culprit through her rifle scope. When they reach the man, they discover he is already dead. The marks on his body suggest he was killed by a massive, dangerous monster. After examining the body, they find a diary revealing that the man was a US soldier. Peter concludes that the trap wasn't meant for humans, but for a much larger creature. Noting the immense depth of the pit Christine had nearly fallen into, the soldier had dug it specifically to kill the monster. However, the monster proved too dangerous. It evaded the trap and killed the soldier instead. As the group prepares to leave, their African companion senses they are being watched and looks toward a nearby tree. However, seeing nothing on the tree, he follows the rest of his companions. Unbeknownst to them, something is indeed watching them from that very tree. Because the entity is invisible, they cannot see it, while it observes them using infrared or thermal vision. After moving a short distance, they reach an open field and are stunned by the sight before them. It is a completely different world, a place unlike anything they have ever seen, with 3 planets visible in the sky. They realize they are not on Earth, but on an alien planet. Peter reasons that since they managed to arrive here, there must be a way out, so they need to find an exit route quickly. They resume moving through the jungle when a drone suddenly passes overhead, putting them on high alert as they anticipate an attack from above. Just then, strange creatures come charging rapidly toward them. They open fire, causing one of the creatures to explode. Another creature pursues one of their companions, an escaped prisoner from a Mexican jail, and is about to kill him when an African man intervenes, slaying the creature and saving the prisoner's life. Meanwhile, the doctor, unarmed, flees to save himself as a creature chases him. However, Christine steps in, helps the doctor climb a tree, and engages the creature herself. But just as she takes aim at the creature and is about to shoot, she realizes that she has run out of ammunition. Christine is deeply disheartened by this, and the creature begins to slowly advance towards her. Realizing the situation, she understands that there is no one left to save her. Just as the creature gets very close, the sound of a whistle echoes through the forest. Upon hearing it, the creature follows the sound like a dog and wanders off, revealing that these creatures are essentially the dogs of this planet. They then realize that something far more dangerous than these dogs lurks in the forest, intent on killing them. Noticing that their gangster companion is missing, they hear his screams coming from a short distance away. They rush to the spot and find him sitting motionless, with his back turned towards them. They call out to him, but he offers no response. Christine starts to approach him, but Peter stops her, warning that it could be a trap. To confirm his suspicion, Peter throws a stone toward their companion. As it lands nearby, they discover that a trap has indeed been set, and their companion is already dead. Peter tells the group they must leave their companion behind, as attempting to touch him would mean certain death for all of them. However, unwilling to leave him in such a wretched, half-dead state, Christine shoots him, finally freeing him from his suffering. Moving a little further ahead, they spot strange footprints and realize they belong to the very monster that is hunting them. Following the trail of footprints, the group arrives at a spot where numerous corpses are hanging. Some have even been skinned. Blood is splattered everywhere. Terrified by the gruesome sight, they spot a predator tied to a tree. Believing it to be dead, Nikolai moves closer to touch it, but the creature suddenly wakes up and lets out a scream. As the group recoils, two sharp wooden spikes shoot up from the ground and impale the African man, killing him instantly. Suddenly, Peter spots something strange and opens fire indiscriminately, managing to hit the invisible monster with a few shots. However, the creature's invisibility gives it the upper hand, prompting Peter to order everyone to flee. They sprint away, jump off a cliff into the river below, and swim toward the bank. Just then, a drone flies overhead and spots them. It returns to the site of the earlier attack, where the monster reveals its true form. It turns out to be a predator, though much larger than the standard ones, and there are 3 of them, not just one. Meanwhile, the group reaches the riverbank, where Peter tells the others he has realized that their attackers are predators, and that these creatures have no intention of letting them leave the jungle alive. So, instead of trying to escape, they decide they must confront these predators. Everyone hides in the jungle again, and Christine spots a predator through her rifle scope. Seeing this, they devise a plan to trap and kill the creature. Following the plan, they send one of their own into the jungle as bait. He shouts to draw the predator's attention. Just as the predator closes in to kill him, Christine shoots and kills it. They approach the fallen creature, only to realize it isn't a predator, but a different kind of beast. Peter praises Christine for the precise long-range shot, but she notices that her bullet hadn't hit the creature at all. It had struck a tree instead. Confused about who actually fired the shot, they realize they have walked into a trap. Their plan has backfired, and before they can react, a voice calls out, "I'm over here." They scan their surroundings but see no one. Suddenly, a massive predator-like monster appears behind Peter. Aiming a weapon directly at him, Peter thinks his end has come, but the creature removes its mask, revealing a normal human being. The man introduces himself as Noland and warns them that their lives are in danger because the predators have an incredibly keen sense of smell. He tells them to follow him if they want to survive. Without a second thought, they follow Noland, who leads them to an old, derelict spaceship. Noland explains that this place is safe and that he too arrived on this planet just like them. He reveals that all his comrades were killed and that he has been living here for the past 3 years, hiding from the predators. A team member then asks how he acquired a predator suit. Noland replies that he killed 2 predators and has been wearing a suit stolen from one of them. Peter asks how they can kill these predators, and Noland explains that they are extremely dangerous. They possess infrared vision, meaning they can see the team even in pitch darkness. Noland further reveals that there are 2 types of predators here, normal ones and monster predators. These